Yeah.
Talk to me.
Go on, we're ready.
Oh,
Turn your light on. Don't forget your light.
You didn't give me any words.
Turn your light on. Light.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you then. You caught me swinging around. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth is she swinging around? What the hell is going on? And all of this is going to be answered in today's episode in a cave called Winnet's Head. Now, today, Jolene has a lot of exams to study for, so she can't be with us. Instead, we have the male equivalent, the male Jolene. Yeah!
Hello.
Yes! There you go. He's here. He has a presence. So, join me, Elise Freshwater-Blizzard, and male Jolene, as we travel deep, down, under. Woo! Hot. That was fun. Now, so far we've talked about how most caves are safe, beautiful and stable structures, and it's a pleasure to walk around them and just feel great about it. There's no danger of anything collapsing. However, this cave today is a little different. This cave has lots of loose boulders and rocks that are hanging around, which we're going to investigate together today. And we're going to see why this cave is so renowned for being dangerous. Let's go.
One of the most important skills in caving is communication. To make this trip work easily, Jeff and I have to be constantly communicating to each other, telling each other that we are safe, letting each other know that if there's a problem, we can deal with it, and helping each other with equipment that we've brought in. And this actually can be really difficult at times, especially when things get tight, but it's so necessary for us to do. Here is a map of the cave. Where we have already been is coloured in yellow. We've come through the entrance and into what is called the main chamber. On from this, we have a quick route to the next chamber, but before that we need to go through something special first.
Oh wow! Now that is a sexy boulder choke. It's beautifully dangerous, and it's actually the reason why this cave is notoriously dangerous to cavers. So Elise, what's a boulder choke? Good question. A boulder choke is just simply a collection of boulders, and there's a hole in there that you can go through. So you're going through all of these boulders. And that seems perfectly safe enough, but actually it is possible that it's not safe at all. And the reason is that any boulder at any point in time can slip and crush a caver. And yeah, that sounds really serious, but actually it's more probable that this is going to happen after we leave the cave, once we've disturbed it, or at any point in time when we're not in the cave. If it does happen to go whilst we're inside the cave, then that is a big problem, because it will be very difficult for us to be rescued, which is another reason why this cave is so notorious for being dangerous. We can't get rescued, or there's a low probability of us being rescued if this boulder choke goes after we pass through it. But that's not going to happen today, because I'm here. Yeah. Let's go in it.
That's it.
Notice how, in every single cave we've been in, there are no rounded boulders. This is because limestone naturally fractures in a straight line, so all the boulders here are jagged and cornered. Whilst I go through this boulder choke, I've got to notice if any rocks I grab onto are actually unstable and if they can take my weight, because if they can't, I'm in big trouble. This cave is actually so changeable that there are different ways to enter it over the years, and some ways have been blocked off because of these movable rocks. So watch me now as I go through this rocky maze and see the dangerous boulders that hang above me.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares?
Good work.
Right. Down we go.
So back to the cave map. We have been through the main chamber and we're going through the boulder choke, and we're just about to come out into Fox's chamber. After that, we make our way down to the main sump, and after we hit that, we're just going to go all the way back out, which will take us about half an hour to 45 minutes.
So welcome into Fox's chamber. So that last big chamber that we saw was called the main chamber, but it's not actually the main chamber. And the reason why is that when people first discovered that chamber, they thought, well, this is obviously the main chamber because it's big. But later on, someone called Mr. Fox came along and discovered this chamber, and this is actually the main chamber. And the main chamber just means it's big, it's the biggest of all. It's the big chamber within the whole cave. So this is now called Fox's Chamber, which comes after main chamber, which is hella confusing, and I'm very sorry about that. What we have here is the swing, which is my favourite part about this cave. And you're probably wondering, what on earth is this doing here? Now, this is all in the name of exploration. So cavers will use this just to go up it, and they probably installed this at the very top using bolts. So they can get up and they can explore the bits at the top of the cave. But we're not going to go there today. We're going to go through Fox's Chamber. There are so many boulders here, some of them the size of cars, and we're going to go through the boulders and down to the sump. So let's go.
There we go. Go on.
So, like, if you took the red pill,
Hi, so we finally made it to the sump. Now, this is a sump. This is what a sump looks like. We've discussed what sumps are before, but just to clarify, this is where all the water in the cave runs down to. Now, you can see there's rope that goes into the sump, which means that divers have been here. And divers would have dived right in, and on the other side there'll be other bits of cave, there'll be more bits of caves to explore. I'm not a cave diver, so you'll see nothing like that on this show, and I'm sorry to those that are curious. Instead, this is it. I'm really sorry. This is actually the penultimate episode of Deep Down Under, and we're coming to the end of the season. You've got to appreciate how cool sumps are. Look at that water. Ah. So after we've had a bit of food, Jeff and I are actually going to go back up to the surface because we're actually both completely shattered and it's time to go back. And it's also really late at night, and you wouldn't think so, but caves can go in caves at any time of day because it doesn't matter because it's always dark inside. So it's about 10 maybe now. Yeah, Jeff's nodding his head. So this is it. This is the penultimate episode, and I will see you next time on Deep Down Under. Goodbye. Oh yes.
No. Come on. Need to make the call out. Come on.
You saying come on is not going to make me go any faster. Swear to fucking God.
Come on.
No.
It's when I get cold.
I know, but you're going to have to
I'm
wait.
not going to get cold anyway.
Literally. I'm going to try my best, and that's all I'm going to do. Can you go back?
I can do, or I can give you a push up if you want.